Today we are going to talk about 5 mistakes that I do as an experienced Etsy seller. Some of these I have done at the beginning of my Etsy journey. Well, I sell digital products, but Etsy works on the same principles. So some of these I did at the beginning, and some of these I did very recently, and some of them I still do, but I don't have time to correct them. So I keep pushing them further and further down the timeline, but eventually I really hope that I can get to correct these. So without any further ado, let's talk about the mistakes that I made and make on Etsy. Oh, and if we haven't met yet, hi, my name is Emese from Everything Digital, and here on this channel I talk about digital products, making money online and business fine. So the first mistake that I did back in the days, and I partially do it but only a little bit, a tiny bit, is that I didn't focus on my listing images. As a digital product creator, the main thing that sells my product are the listing images. I didn't invest in any type of good mockups because I was cheap and I wanted to do it on the cheap. I was not willing to pay for some really good mockups, although they were available in 2017 when I started. I thought that I am better than that and I can create my own and it will be fine. Well, it's not fine. I talked about these awful listing images before. I will put a few right here so you can see them, and I will put in comparison some of the ones that I use today. As you can see, there is a very big difference because I use high quality mockups and my products are displayed in a very professional way. The next mistake that I did, I don't do this anymore because I learned my lesson. The next mistake that I did quite very often at the beginning is that I didn't write detailed description. I just would copy paste the title from the title section to the description section, maybe a few other words, and that's it. Today that is a no for me. I have a very detailed description structure and I follow that for each and every of my listings. It needs to have details like the file type, the size, the colors and stuff like that, and a few disclaimers at the beginning or at the end, how do you prefer, and of course you have to integrate your keywords. I talked about in one of my previous Etsy SEO videos, and I showed you how I redo my listings slowly because I have over 1,000 of them in several shops. But slowly I am converting those old outdated listings, well, from the point of SEO to the new regulations and to the new standards. So yes, that is a very big mistake that I did back in the days, that I didn't have detailed descriptions. The third mistake that I did all the time back in the day is that I didn't want to do any sales or any special promotion events. Although Etsy is organizing these, I think, a few times a year, 2 or 3 times at least, I didn't want to participate because I didn't want to lower my price. But the thing that I didn't realize back then is that the discount would bring a higher volume of sales. I had some coupon codes that I added to my Etsy cover image and to my descriptions, but I didn't want to do sales. I don't know why, that was just my mentality back then, because a sale and the discount code does the same. It gives a percentage off from the final price, but I felt like a sale would make my products less valuable. I don't know in whose YouTube video I heard it back in 2017, back in 2018, that a sale would degrade your products. That is a big mistake. I think you should do a sale event for at least 10%, 15% off every few months. So 6 times at least a year. Of course, there are the bigger discount periods like Black Friday and some other events that Etsy might organize. But yes, you should include some kind of discount in your Etsy store from time to time. Especially because now Etsy promotes discounted items. Well, I'm not sure about this 100%, but discounted items appear, for me at least, when I'm searching for items, appear more on top of the page than on the bottom. So I think this is kind of a thing that they are testing or they are working on. But I noticed some sale items ranking higher. The fourth mistake that I want to talk about relates to branding. I didn't have a very cohesive shop. After a few months in business, I started to discover a few websites where you can find free mockups, fonts, some other graphic elements as well. I just did a video on where to find free graphics for your designs. I will leave it down below in the description. And because I liked this mockup and that mockup and a third mockup, my shop didn't look very cohesive because all of these designs had a different look to them. Maybe I put my logo on it so that people would know that it belongs to me, but at the end it didn't matter because it looked very chaotic. So what I did, I think 2 years ago, is I purchased a professional looking mockup set, and I'm using those and a few extra that I kept from back in the days that were more neutral. But I'm trying to keep the same color palette all over my listings. Now, if you check out my Etsy shop with the printable planners, you will see that the business planners and some older items are not in this style. Well, they are on my to-do list for at least a few months now. I have been mentioning this to you in my income report and in my monthly reset videos. But I just have so many things on my plate that I cannot do it. I want to do it, I just keep pushing it further and further away, but eventually, before the end of the year, I promise before the end of the year I will do it. So yes, that is a very big mistake that I did. Now I am on the right track to correct. And the last mistake that I would like to talk about today relates to the Etsy messaging system. If I get a message with a more complicated matter or a more complicated question, I tend to hit the mark as unread button, and I think that I will deal with that later in the day, but one day becomes two, 2 days become 3, and you know how the drill goes. And eventually I will have to get to that message, but if I would do it in that second that I opened up that message, it would be resolved so much faster. But if I get something harder to deal with, I tend to push it back on my calendar, and eventually I don't get to it. Because by the time I get to 2 o'clock, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, I am not in the mental space to deal with some difficult clients or some difficult problems. I should do that first thing in the morning. So yes, that is one mistake that I still do to this day. I have been doing it for 5+ years, and I hope that one day I can correct this behavior of mine, but not today. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Please tell me in the comment section if there are some other mistakes that people tend to do in their online shops. I'm not referring just to Etsy shops, but some other online businesses as well. I would like to have a conversation down in the comment section. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, or you find the tips that I talked about relevant for you and for your business, please give this video a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you will never miss another video in which I talk about digital products, making money online, and business finance. See you in the next one. Bye bye!